Yep, back at it again. It is Friday, March 1st, and had to work late today, so only got about an hour and a half left of sunlight, but just wanted to get over and scout and do some shed hunting on one area of the property I haven't been on. And as you can see right now, I'm down in this creek bottom, and the reason why is I've got a heavy beat down path. So as you can see, got two solid trails coming out, crossing over, and then heading out into that cut bean field. So just gonna get down here and check some of these areas, get into some of the bedding. Again, this is where I'm seeing all the bucks come from that don't have any sheds on, or don't have any antlers on their head. So I'm gonna check some of these bedding areas and maybe we'll get lucky tonight. Hang in there. That's a good rub. And we are up in the thick of it. I mean, there's well more than 50 cedars and pines that are all rubbed up. But I just want to talk about how hard this really is, because from about 25 yards away, that, my friends, looks like a shed. So let's walk over and check it out. There you go. Nope. That one got me. I was for sure that I done found me a good one for today. But we're up here in the cedar thicket. If you didn't see the episode, I don't know, several weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, where I got in here and found all this. You're gonna want to check this out, because man, this place is tore up. Pretty fresh. Again, that wasn't even that fresh last time we were out here. And you can see the shavings there all on the ground. Big pile of fresh poop and an old scrape. Really good spot right here. Right there's the bed. And man, I see fresh rubs all around, but we're definitely in a little buck nest. So I'll go up here and show you some more. Man, there's just fresh sign tracks in and out of here. You got another older rub right there. You got the bed right here. And I mean, guys, I was in here probably, I'm thinking it was like 4 weeks ago, and I got all up in this. I was in all these beds, checking for sheds, and as you can see, it didn't hurt this at all. Here, let me just show you. Look at all that. Heck, they're even pawing at the mud. So yeah, I got up in here, I shed hunted hard, checked all this area out for sheds, and come back here 4 weeks later and they have not stopped using it. I haven't bumped a deer out. And there's so many crazy things that they tell you. Oh, don't get up in there. You're gonna bump your deer, they'll never come back. Some places where you're out in the vast wilderness, but here where I hunt, I mean, they might leave for a couple days, but when they've got habitat like this, concealment, food, water, they're not gonna leave for good. They're coming back. So man, wait till you see this one. I'm gonna get up in this other bed. Keep hanging in there with me. Guys, a tree like this, I mean, look at the layer after layer, year after year, that this tree just gets worn down. Hopefully you can see that. But man, just year after year after year, this tree right here takes abuse, and it's just a community rub. Those bucks coming through here off of this heavy corridor, great transition trail coming into this bedding. This is where they're stopping. They're scent checking one another. They know based off of this tree who's coming and going. So it's things like that I get excited about, because I'm going to figure out a way to get down in this bottom and hunt these deer as they're coming and going. Just got to figure out what wind and what way works. But man, look at this. You're talking about fresh. I'd say that they rubbed on that here pretty recently. Here's another. I mean, this one's huge. And of course, more feces. Look at that. Guys, it's taking some big deer. To get in here and rub on trees like that, you ought to see the prints. Prints as big as my hand. Look here. Guys, I love this spot. I haven't even showed you a tenth of it yet. Keep hanging in. Well, good morning. It is Saturday, March 2nd, and I'm out here on about 1,000-acre tract of public land. Really just doing some scouting today. I've never been on this property before, and trying to get ahead of the National Shed Rally hosted by Whitetail Properties that kicks off next weekend. So one, doing some scouting today, get out here and see if this is going to be a good area for me and the crew to really hit up next weekend and put a good comb on it. On top of that, I'm sure we won't be the only ones on this property, so there's nobody out here anywhere in the parking area. So hoping that I might be out here by myself. And as you can tell, it is dense in here. I mean, it is thick. So finally found my first good sign. As you can tell too, it's marshy back here, guys. It is wet. Man, it's not fresh, but at least it's a good sign. Yeah, I'm glad I wore the waterproof boots today. All right, there you go, guys. As you can see, big old public land pond tucked back in the middle of the thick, nasty, gnarly stuff. So there's not a lot of pressure on this pond or the hunting. Now, where I came from, hopefully you can tell how thick that is. But this is all real low-lying area down through here. And I just didn't find a lot of bedding through there. Found some good trails, but no bedding. And I think it's just because it's such a low-lying area that it holds water, as you see how thick it was, or how soupy it was coming through there. So now the elevation's kind of starting to increase, and back over my right shoulder there, the elevation goes up. So I'm going to follow this around, but just finding this water source tucked back here in the back of this property, yeah, it's exciting. I'm already seeing good sign, heavy trails, already seeing more rub action. So I'm gonna follow one of these trails around, hopefully to get onto this other side over here and get up into some more higher elevation and hopefully get into some better bedding areas. Keep hanging in. Guys, if you have not downloaded the onX Hunt app already, man, I highly recommend it. I mean, just like this place right here, finding this pond on this public land. One, I didn't even know this land was public, but the onX map can show you all your private lands, who owns it, public lands, public hunting, no hunting zones. I mean, it teaches you everything and gives you a lot more opportunity to be successful in your state. But I would have never known about that pond right there if I hadn't had it on and found it on my onX map. Found a public land and just used the topical map, geographical maps to kind of indicate different low-lying areas. And that pond, I knew it was either an old pond bottom or a pond. And sure enough, I mean, I'm talking about a beautiful pond, and it looks stocked because as soon as I walked up to it, a big old bass jumped over by that fallen tree. So me and my buddy Keith, I guarantee you we're going to get back in here and fish that. So keep hanging out. Hopefully we'll get onto some good bedding here in a second. All right, good morning, everybody. Sunday, March 3rd. And as you can see, it's snowing here in Kentucky. And snow's just starting to come down. I'm gonna work back here about 2.5 miles and get into a big bedding area that I haven't been into in about 5 weeks. So hopefully with this cold temps and inclement weather, it's forced the remaining holding bucks to drop those sheds, and we'll have even that much more success today. So stay tuned, it should be a fun time. All right, so as you can probably tell, I'm fighting off this cold here, trying not to get it. But I think just being out here all the time, just inclement weather, just really starting to take its toll on me. But man, I have to be dead before I'm not out here. And anyway, I was coming down a transition line and popped into the hardwoods. As soon as I came over the hill, jumped up 12 to 15 deer that were all in their bed, and they took off down the hill. So I made my way over to where they were bedded at and checked all that bedding area, and then went down to the creek crossing and found some really good buck sign. So I just got on that trail where you could see they were kicking it up going through the woods, and I just found a really good print here in this mud. So I wanted to just show you, it's not even mud, it's just a dry creek, but I want to show you exactly what size of a deer that I'm chasing, and he didn't have no antlers on his head. So check this out. Guys, that's a pretty good buck print. So I'm gonna stay on this trail and see if he can't lead me back to another bedding area. Search that one and didn't come up with any sheds, obviously. So see if he can't lead me back to another one, and we'll see if he can't come up with something. Keep hanging in there with me.